All right, page 1 of your packet. I want to lead you through how to fill this in, but you will be filling it in on your own with some clues here. And there's some changes I have to make to match up with what we did in class. Our situation is a little different than the worksheet here. We didn't have a buggy, we had a bot, and we can use floor tiles. We used a tape measure to mark position, and we had position markers though. So have that in on your sheet. You already have your graph, so you should be able to say confidently what is your independent variable. You would write that here, and what is your dependent variable. And if you know that, you should be able to write the title of the graph right there on the y-axis versus what's on the x-axis. And then, this is working backwards, of course, but you should be able to fill in some terms in this blank and that blank that fit in those blanks and make that a statement that makes sense. That is the purpose of the data collection yesterday. For procedure, this is just you thinking about what was done to get your data and writing in 5 steps or less. You don't have to have 5 steps, but it's going to be at least 3 or 4, maybe 5. Write down what you did so that if someone who's like you wasn't there, they would have a chance to collect the same data. On the back of page 1 is the data table that you have already pasted the Google Sheets printout of the data table and graph, and that's where it belongs. Last thing to do with your graph is to get an equation for it. We've used these boxes before. You will write down here what is on the y-axis of your graph, what is on the x-axis. You should see the slope in your equation and the y-intercept, and you're going to write them here with units too for the slope and the y-intercept. You should know what those units are, and then put these in the appropriate place. Y there, x goes there, the slope goes there, and the y-intercept goes there. And I like to put the slope in parentheses to set it off from the other thing. Don't forget to put the units with the slope here and with the y-intercept there. On page 2, we will not fill out that space there. You will fill in the blanks here, and if you know your independent variable, you're just going to put it in there and your dependent variable there, and it will make the statement make sense. Right here, if it's not apparent to you, you should realize that the word increase or decrease works. Actually, increases or decreases, you select the one that makes sense for your graph. We talked in class yesterday about the meaning of slope and y-intercept for a straight line graph. I'll let you do your best to fill in these blanks for that. And you already know the equation from the previous page, so that will go in there again. And there's 3 new terms. And here are 3 terms to write down from this data collection. Position we talked about in class. It's the location relative to the 0 marker. Here's the one I want to introduce, displacement. Displacement is an important word to know. It just means change in position, but it's something we use frequently, so you'll have to commit that to memory. And finally, average velocity. Average velocity is the ratio of displacement, which is change in position, to time change. And what that is the slope of the position versus time graph. So the higher that slope, the faster the object is moving, the higher its average velocity. And the lower the slope, the lower the average velocity.